Hey everyone, this is Rachel. Thanks for clicking on my video. And I came in today with a little bit of gossip and a couple other things that I found interesting this morning. First one up is Kim Burrell and Ellen. Now you guys know that Kim Burrell was supposed to be on the Ellen show, but after she made those comments that she did about gay people, Ellen said, "No ma'am, you will not be appearing on my shit." Y'all, I don't know. I think Kim Burrell has torn her ass. Now, what I say about this is Kim Burrell had every right to say, what she actually felt. But I don't know if Kim Burrell took a moment to think about the ramifications of her feelings, because not only is Ellen not feeling her and wanting her on the show, a couple of other organizations have, canceled appointments that they had with her, and she's really feeling the heat after these comments that she made. Now, like I said in a previous video that I did about this story with Kim Burrell, the world that we live in now, we are a little bit more accepting of gays today. Now, it's still a lot of people that are not feeling them. They have their religious beliefs and they just can't get with that gay agenda, I should say. But as I also stated in my other video, I believe live and let live. And the reason why I say that is we are all sinners in one way or the other. And we all have to stand in judgment in one way or the other. I was always taught that let God be the judge, that we as man are in no position to be judging another human being, and I live by that. So what I feel is, as long as those folks are not hurting anyone, who am I to judge them? I have several friends and have had several friendships with folks from the gay community, and actually I cherish those friendships. One of my best friends for many years was a gay man, and he was friends with me throughout my 20s, and it is a friendship that I will never forget because he taught me a lot about being a lady. And I just will never forget that. So because I had that relationship or that friendship with that gay man throughout my 20s, I have always been very accepting. I am not one to get on, a pedestal and try to condemn someone else. That is just not me. Because while I'm on that pedestal, I have my own faults, my own sins, my own things that one day I'm going to have to answer to God for myself. And I don't want to condemn my soul to hell trying to condemn someone else's. So I just say like this, Kim Burrell, maybe you should have thought about, what you were saying. Also, too, y'all, I heard a rumor, and I don't know how true this is, but is it true that Kim Burrell's husband left her for a man? Now, I read this story a couple different places, and because I am not familiar with Kim Burrell's career and her as a woman, I don't know how true this is. The only thing that I really knew about Kim Burrell is that she was friends with Whitney Houston, and that she, I believe, sang at Whitney's funeral, and she sang with Whitney, a lot when Whitney was alive. So if you guys have ever heard some rumor about her husband leaving her for a man, who knows, maybe if this is true, maybe this has put, some spirit of hatred for the gay community in Kim Burrell, and basically that day when she was giving that sermon, maybe some of that hate leaked out, and that's the reason why she went in so hard on the gay community. So if you know anything about that, put that down in the comment section, because it just sounds, I don't know. It just sounds like maybe that's not true, that it is just gossip, that it is just a rumor. But, as always, you guys get me together when I'm wrong. So on this one, I just wanted to understand where that is coming from in Kim Burrell. Also, Shirley Caesar has stepped up to defend Kim Burrell and basically said that Kim Burrell should have said this about 4 years ago, before all these laws were passed, that help the gay community, and all the laws that President Obama has passed for the gay community to help them along. So even with that, I'd like you guys' opinion. Y'all, I'm just gonna say it again. I just believe in live and let live. A lot of you out there who are listening to my voice, you have sins as well as I do. I have things that I know that on Judgment Day I'm going to have to answer for. And I just will not send my soul to hell condemning someone else. And that's it with that story, y'all. So my next story up, y'all, is Janet Jackson. Well, y'all, I heard that she had her baby, and they said it was a healthy baby boy, and that she named the baby Esan. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. I believe it's spelled Eissan. Well, I'm happy for Janet. She was determined to have a baby, and she did it. They said that her and the baby are fine, and that, it was an uncomplicated delivery, meaning she didn't have any problems. Now, y'all, Janet Jackson is 50 years old. And just the fact that she was able to carry that baby to term, the baby is healthy and she's fine. That is a feat, excuse me, in itself. I tip my hat to her. I am 51. And y'all, let me just tell you, if Rachel was pregnant at this age, child, I'd be homicidal and suicidal. I could not even picture being pregnant at this age. And not only that, y'all, I could not picture having a newborn baby at the age of 50. That getting up in the middle of the night, the breastfeeding, when they go through the terrible twos, the changing of diapers, the daycare, oh my God, just everything. And we all know that boys are quite active when they're little. I had one of my own who was climbing all over shit, tearing up shit, throwing cars all over. Y'all know how boys do it. But I am happy for them, because this is something that it seems like that Janet really wanted. Because for her to wait until she was damn near 60, no, y'all, I'm just kidding. But for her to wait this long for one reason or the other and do it now, she was determined for this to happen. Now, I really look forward to seeing a picture of the baby. I don't know if Janet will, put something out soon. She's very private, so we may not see the baby until the baby is damn near 18. But I would love to see a picture of her baby. So, Janet, good luck, congratulations, and y'all, on to the next story. The next ones up are Vivica Fox and 50 Cent. And my question to y'all is, have I missed something? Because I read a story that said that Vivica Fox was on the Wendy Williams show, and she got to talking about her and 50 Cent. And she basically said that they had buried the hatchet. She said that she saw him at a basketball game here recently. She walked up to him, wished him a happy new year, and they stood and talked for a few minutes. She went on to say that she really regretted them having a beef and she never wanted that to happen. She also kind of said that he was sort of kind of the love of her life. Am I getting that correctly? Getting that correct? Now, this back and forth that these two have had, over the past few years kind of got brutal because, about a year or so, Vivica was accusing him of being a little light in the loafers. So I don't know how you come back from that when you are a man being accused of being either gay or bisexual, all out in the public hemisphere, y'all. So whatever talking that they were supposed to have done, I really guess it was a good talk because she said that there's no beef between them anymore. So I don't know. Maybe it is something, that they will always have between themselves because I also read that she said that she will always have feelings for him. And maybe he feels the same way. Maybe what it is, they had some words, it got really blown up. And, out in the social media, they were trying to outdo one another with, what they said about each other. Because I know basically he had called her an old bitch. Y'all, remember when he was talking about her? Child, the shit was funny when I was reading it and watching it on Watch What Happens Live. Now, if they were able to bury the hatchet, then I tip my hat off to both of them because that shows a level of maturity on both of their parts because they slung some really sharp arrows at each other. And if they were able to come back from that, then you know what? All right, Vivica and 50. All right now, y'all. Y'all, this next story falls in the realm of, can this be true? So I read this story that there is this activist group that is going to be passing out 4,200 free joints at the inauguration. Y'all, when I read this, I said, you know what? This country is going to hell in a handbasket. I guess this is one of those groups that are hell bent on getting marijuana legalized and they don't give a damn what route they take to get it done. So the story that I read is that yes, they are going to show up at Donald Trump's inauguration and they are going to give out 4,200 free joints. They're going to blaze up 4 minutes and some seconds into his inauguration speech and this, I guess, do a freaking smoke out. Y'all, it's going to be a bunch of blazed up folk, on the National Mall that day. Now, I don't know if that is considered public property and would they be arrested? Because I don't think that, they're going to get away with it because, our inaugurations are publicized around the world. And I don't know if America wants to give that, image out there to the world. So now that these police know that these people are planning to do that, will they be there in mass arresting them as soon as they light up? Because I think that's considered, not public property, but what it is, government property, and that you can't smoke marijuana, on government property. Now, the story that I read said that as long as they're smoking it in DC, which I guess is legal there. I didn't know that if it is. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but that they would be okay. It also is a protest. And if it's down on the National Mall, then are they within their rights to protest by smoking weed? Y'all, I cannot wait to see this. So while I was not planning on watching this goddamn inauguration, I think I will be catching a little bit of it because I want to see, if they pan through the crowd and you see folks lighten up, and I'm wondering, are they all going to be grouped together or will they be dispersed throughout that inauguration crowd? So y'all, if nothing else, I will be watching this inauguration for that reason alone, because I want to see if this is really true. And if it is true, will we see some of these people blazing up? Tell me what y'all think of this. Have you heard anything about this story about these free joints being given out? And if you live in Washington and were planning on going, or if you live in DC and you were planning on going to the inauguration, which I don't know if y'all were planning on going, but would you accept one of those free joints? Leave it down in the comment section, y'all, and on to the next story. So let me end this video on a good note. Did you hear about the twin brother that saved his twin? Well, y'all, what happened is these two little boys were playing on the dresser. Basically, they had pulled out some of the drawers in the front of the dresser. And they were climbing on those drawers, and the dresser tipped over, trapping one of them under the dresser. Now, the other twin, he walked around the dresser. Now, mind you, let me back up. They're only 2 years old. The other twin walked around the dresser, sizing up the situation. He even climbed over the dresser, looked at the back of the dresser. You could tell he was trying to figure out how to get his brother from out under this dresser. So eventually he made it back around to the front of the dresser. He pushed it, he wiggled it, he did everything that he could think of in his little 2-year-old mind. And then he got into the front of the dresser and he lifted it. And he got his brother from under that dresser. Y'all, this was a video surveillance that was set up by the parents. I think their father works for a tech company, and he just happened to have this video set up, I guess, in their playroom. And he was able to catch all of this on film. When I saw the video of this, because there's an actual video, and you probably can find that video on YouTube. There's an actual video of all of this going on. There's no sound, but there is a video of it. When I saw it, I was like, oh shit, because like I said, earlier in this video, little boys climb, jump, run, leap over stuff, and they're always getting hurt when they're little. When they're toddlers, boys are busy, y'all. But to watch that dresser fall on that baby, ooh, it kind of made my toes curl as a mother. And then, when you're watching a video, you're wondering, where is this going? You see the other twin struggling under the dresser. At one point, he was on his stomach. He was able to flip himself over, and he was on his stomach, and the dresser was on his back. And you could see his little feet kicking, because all while the other twin is trying to figure out how to get him from under there, the one that's actually under the dresser is trying to wiggle himself out. Now, when the other twin finally pulled him from, lifted the dresser where the other twin was able to roll from under it, you can tell that the one that was trapped under the dresser was crying. You didn't have any audio, but the video clearly shows that he pulled himself out and then he started crying. Y'all, this is amazing for them to be only 2 years old. And what's funny is, if the parents didn't have that video, they probably would have gone in a room just thinking they had knocked over the dresser, but didn't know all of the chaos that had ensued when the dresser was knocked over. Thank God for video, because I guess the parents, a day or so later, they viewed the video and was like, oh my God, did not realize all of this had happened, and that one brother had basically saved the other one. Isn't that just so sweet, y'all? Badass kids climbing on dressers. I bet that'll teach their asses to stay off that dresser now. y'all. And with that, I'm going to end this video. Y'all have a wonderful day. And thank you for taking the time to watch my video. Bye-bye now.